Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and today we're over on Gamefound looking at Wroth. Now, this is by Chip Theory Games, and you know what? Why don't they just change their name to Neoprene Theory Games? That's the only link between all the games, their obsession with neoprene and high pricing. Well, high pricing, no, actually. This is looking like an interesting game that they're thinking of pushing to retail, it looks like. Approachable, it says, is its first thing it wants to tell you. It's approachable. So this is family weight. It's neon soaked. It certainly looks like no other game. And it's a fantasy area control game from Manny Tremblay, who is known for his work with the Dice Throne. He's kind of a upcoming designer, so this is a very interesting game from himself, and he's basically teamed up with Chip Theory Games. Anyway, now I think the tag for this game is cubes on a map. Cubes on a map, whether it's a dice cube or a cube, you know. But look at that map! Ooh, I like it so much. They've said it's a prototype and they're not happy with certain things, and the thing that they said they're not happy with is the height of the islands here. They want it to look higher. They're happy with the colours and the white lines on them, and they're really nice. Certainly looks interesting, doesn't it? Now, this is the island of Wroth, and you are basically trying to control this island, and all these mystical, fantastical factions are coming here to try and win it. It's like who will rule the land for it's like an election. And to win the election, you've got to do it in combat. So you've got asymmetry across the board, and you're going to be rolling dice, and the dice are going to then be allocated to your board, and that will give you certain abilities. Most of them are combat abilities, so you're going to be fighting, but it's going to be cubes fighting cubes, and when it comes to cubes on a map, for me, it's a little bit abstract in its nature. I would have preferred, of course, you know what I'm going to say here, acrylic standees. Because if you go miniatures, it's dudes on a map, and they could have gone acrylics on a map. But you can see here the cost is $55. This is going straight to retail, isn't it? Now, it's interesting they've got all these languages, because if you look at the neoprene mats, they do have English on them. So they're literally going to have to redo mats for each of these languages. So it looks to be an expensive production already. Yeah, so you can see Manny Tremblay here did also Wonderland's War, and so he's got really good games on his list. Radlands was the 1v1 card game, limited edition, not going to add to it, just a 1v1 dice card battle game. That was very expensive when it came to Kickstarter. All of his games have gone to retail, though. I think Wonderland's War has a retail box. It's not the fancy chipped version of it, though. But anyway. Players choose one of 5 factions. Can be extended, though. There's 2 extra factions as add-ons. You're vying for control of the island of Wroth. It's going to be diced actions to get resources. Deploy, move troops around. Move cubes around, not troops. And attack the opposition. Holding key positions, dominate that region. All sounds fairly simple. Now, it does say that you've got once per game abilities to use. I would have preferred abilities that would have had cooldowns over a turn, but I'm sure he's balanced this out for this, and it's part of its charm for being simplistic. It does say it can be taught in 15 minutes, played in a full group of 4 people, say in roughly half an hour, even if it's your first game. So super light on its streamlining. Now, what's in the box? Lots of these art cards that are done with this neon light. It's a theme that goes across the whole board, and it looks very cool, in my opinion, considering the artist is all over it all. Like the black dice, custom, they look really cool. I really dig the board, I really like it. And, you know, you get these action reference boards. The action reference boards themselves, they might look a little bit complex, but they break down fairly easy. And the stretch goals are kind of upgrading the components, but it's not really doing too much. Like, for example, this scorecard here has been upgraded to neoprene and all that stuff. And so this is a stretch goal to change the cubes to the hexagonal modal troop tokens. Hexagons on a map? I don't know. Is it really an upgrade over cubes? I would have so preferred standees, because you would have had, you know, you would have been able to have done the art of each of these clans, and it would have looked really nice to see the asynchronicity between them all, but hey, they haven't done that. Yeah, so 40 points basically running around trying to control the middle. It's combat all the time. It looks actually quite fun, but it's not really doing much for its retail to Kickstarter. That's kind of where I'm at the minute. What are we doing to justify pledging? So solo is there. Yes. So $55, it's coming to retail, 100%. All gameplay bundle, this is just putting 2 factions in. There is this ridiculous all-in. You're thinking, what the hell is this doing? This is simply putting metal art prints worth a lot of money on the pledge to make it look like you're getting a lot of stuff for the game, when really it's way above stuff you actually need. You can see only 210 people have backed this. It's not something that wanted, but people want the whole content. They've actually said that the boxes for the 2 factions fit into the base anyway, so that the box sizes here are misleading, and I think even when it goes to production, you might not get these boxes. They might just put it in the main box because it's 2 SKUs, isn't it? And they'll just say second SKU. It's the upgraded box with the two of these in it. That's what my suggestion is. Or they're putting these SKUs out at retail anyway, so they'll just give you the retail SKUs when they deliver it. It's kind of got retail all over this. It's funny because the unlocks on the stretch goal are all about the solo play. Score tracker's got neoprene, more AI stuff. The dice have been upgraded to they're calling it a pearlized faction dice. This pearlization. And a Wroth emblem is going to be stamped on top of these, but I don't know. It's like, give me an add-on of acrylic standees, please. I really don't want these troop tokens. And look, a metal troop token. You could have done acrylics for the same price. These metal art prints. Look, to get the full set is $100, and that's why this big pledge is very expensive up there. It includes these expensive add-ons. And really, you don't need any of this. I don't think you need any of this. So, Chip Theory Games teamed up with a good designer and created a really accessible area control game with lots of combat. Certainly, you're going to be attacking people around the table, and it looks really nice. Asymmetric, looking really good. We're going down to shipping, by the way. And yeah, the two add-on factions that you get are pretty interesting. So 25 rest of the world. Not too bad shipping, is it, for USA or UK? Although in the United States they love free shipping. But the question is, will it be less than 55 when it comes to Miniature Market or say Amazon? Will it be less? Because if you look at Dice Throne and the other games that Manny has touched that have all gone to retail, they've always been cheaper than the Kickstarter. And it says here, at this time we are unable to ship into the Ukraine and Russia, Mexico, Central and South America. Like, the due diligence here of Chip Theory Games is weird. Why are you not shipping to Mexico? Because Chip Theory Games that did the Elder Scrolls, they shipped to Mexico, their last Gamefound. So why are they not doing it this time? You know, it simply comes into the United States and then you push it to Mexico. It's fairly simple. So I guess if you're an expat like me, or a Mexican who pays over the odds for games anyway, you just wait for this to come to Amazon. It'll eventually do it like the other games do. That's our only strategy. And really, there's not enough being done here. So for me, it's cubes on a map, retail itis, but really interesting design and art direction. And do we recommend it? I think we do. It looks great. But we'd love to see standees. We'd love to see a reason to pledge. But it just doesn't have any Kickstarter upgradability here. And that's because I think when it was first designed, they really wanted a retail game price. They didn't want a Kickstarter to go over $100. They wanted a cheap Kickstarter that could easily be pushed into retail without too much. That's what happened. So for me, ignore it, wait for it to come to retail. Simple as that. But we do recommend it, so keep it on your radar. And when it comes out to retail, if you still feel like you want this kind of area control game that you could easily teach some people, it's more of a gateway, but it's got that fun factor, pick it up at retail. That's my recommendation here. So Wroth looking very cool, but simply not doing enough for your pledge, in my opinion. So there we go. On that bombshell, if you got this far, please give the video a like, and do check out the other stuff on the channel. We do have special programs talking all about things on crowdfunding, and hopefully our videos are all relevant to you, as you can back them or late back them when they're on our channel. So I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.